Hi Cancer, this is Wishko the Ferret. Welcome to the Ferret Den. We're keeping things warm, we're keeping things cozy, and today we have a reading for you for March 13th to the 19th for that week. Before we dive into the reading, I do have some pre-shuffled oracle cards here, and I do have some channeled messages for you that I did not flip them over yet, and I didn't look at them, but I'm hearing certain things about current energies, and I'm going to shuffle a tarot and get right on into it. But, oh look, 5 of Wands. Perfect start. But before we go in, hang on a second. I need to say my prayer. Stop. So before we get into it, I just wanted to say that I am working on a Patreon. I will launch it sometime late March, early April. So if you're a fan of my stuff and you think I'm cool, go ahead and like and subscribe. And that way you can be notified as to when I update next and also when that Patreon is going to be launching. So that being said, Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you have to drop into your intuition to determine if this message is truly for you. In order to do that, turn your awareness to your heart space. Let the energies around you, the energies that are spiritual, emotional, physical, let all of the dust around you settle. Let those energies within you settle as well. Call in your angels or your spirit guides, whoever you work with on the other side, and let your inner voice and I'm hearing your inner child be your guide. So, thank you, Archangel Michael. I'm going to shuffle tarot, so as you're getting comfy in your space, I will provide this spread for you. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for surrounding me with a bubble of protection at this time. Thank you, spirit energies, angelic energies on the other side, for channeling our highest truth, love, and light for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising in this current moment. For the March 13th to the 19th, what do they need to know for this week? So Cancer, there's a lot of drama going on right now. I don't know if this is like in terms of like your romance or your, in terms of your friend circles, but when I was trying to pre-shuffle and pull the oracle cards, I was hearing that, while like there's like a calm and peaceful space required, so like tuning into your heart space will be very calming for you at this time, because there is a lot of drama. Spirit said, I promise you, it's just like on TV. Like there's like some kind of just like, and it might not be like you're not incapable of dealing with it, but there's just a lot of stuff that like you don't really need to be dealing with right now, and you're like aware, you're kind of sitting there like, this is not necessary in my life. And I can tell like just by your spread that you're having trouble walking away from it, and we'll dive into the details in a second. But it really does feel like, I don't know, I mean, just the general, I mean, like, I could say word for word what they had said, but just the general, and like, it's just out of my mind. So this is why I probably should have mentioned it first before I shuffled tarot, but it was literally just that. It was different hints and phrases that really just felt like it was dramatic and it was unnecessary. And I did hear, as I was pulling a tarot in like the for like your challenges section, I did hear that someone was trying to embarrass you, or someone was making fun or making light of something that you just were not on board with. So I mean, it's engaging appropriately, whatever you're feeling at this time. If you feel like shrinking away, I mean, like, so like because of the way that the shuffle kind of happened in terms of what's making your life easier at this time, a lot of cards came out. I mean, I didn't flip any of them over and I didn't take those cards, but Spirit really does seem like they're telling me that there are many ways, or there are many routes out of this situation. There are many different things. There are many different types of ways you can go about it. There are many different things you could say. There are many different things that you can do. But I think all in all, Spirit kind of wants you to disengage and kind of show disinterest, or at least detach, like practicing that form of detachment within yourself, so that you are not getting emotionally invested in what's going on, or like you're detaching yourself, because I feel like you're already emotionally invested and you're just tired at this point, or that you're just like, you're feeling like you need to fake it. You're feeling like you're needing to fake a certain attitude or something to either appease everyone around you or whatever. And it's almost like, I don't know if this is just gossip or trashy stuff, or if it's just like Spirit says people are incapable, and like the people in your life right now, or those energies that you're dealing with, are incapable of dealing with their own emotions, and that they are kind of letting it out in not appropriate ways. And it's not, they're not shaming them in any way, because that's very human to do, but it's almost like you're taking the brunt of it, or you're just kind of being exposed to things that could otherwise, like, you would do kind of better without, you know what I'm saying? So it really does feel like so a Spirit is recommending, like, change your schedule, for one thing. Change your schedule. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe there are people on like a work shift that you're like dealing with, that you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't work alongside them or whatever. Like maybe that's just easier for you. But just something about changing your schedule or changing up your routines can help, like, avoid the mess, avoid the mishaps, and avoid the drama. But anyway, I'm going to dive in and, like, you know, because they're just, they'll feed me all day with this stuff if I let them. But I want to get to the cards on the table so that other stuff can come through. So you have Venus, Aquarius, and the 5th house that I rolled at this time. I feel like there are passions to be considered. There are passions to go for right now. There are some hobbies and friends that you can lean on in order to kind of, you know, I mean, like, this week just feels like, I mean, this is a very... The drama's there, but this feels like on a completely different note, where, like, Venus is the self-love, or the love that we bring to ourselves, and then Aquarius is channeling almost like your true self. I think Aquarius are like the kings and queens and just superior powers of being their authentic selves, and I feel like that's what you're doing here, Cancer, is that you are trying to, with all of the love in the world, embrace yourself and channel it through your passions, your skill set, your hobbies, something about, like, having fun and being passionate about something, like, that's kind of your escape, or that's the method that you're using to kind of get through life. I don't want to center this whole reading around the drama, because it really doesn't feel like that's the case, but Spirit does want to address that is a concern. They understand it's a concern, and that they want to help you through it, but they really want you to focus on letting your true self shine here, and then channeling all of that love for yourself specifically. There's love for yourself specifically that's coming through that would be a great idea for you to harness at this time. And then, like, oh, that's another thing too that's actually, you know, I told you if it's important, it's going to come to me. I can't remember if I said that, but usually I do say that in my readings, is that, oh, I forgot it because it just kind of went in one ear and out the other. But Spirit did say that you can write out your feelings, like, or they said you can make a story. They said exactly word for word, you can make a story of these feelings. So if you're like the type of writer, like, there is, okay, they said trouble abound, but you can make it your treasure. So if you can channel it into some sort of, like, if you are a storyteller, for example, so like if you write books or whatever, you can, like, I know a lot of things that people do is base their characters off of people they've met in real life. So that's just an example. So, like, so Spirit says cry away your tears. Spiritual help is available. But you also need to be available for them as well. So cry your tears away, embrace your pain, and then Spirit's almost like telling you, they're like, okay, like, you can tell them they can move on now. We can find them a way out of this, but there is, like, a methodology that you can follow that can help you through this madness. So anyway, for current energies, you have, let me finally show you some cards here. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the Hierophant, and I keep saying the Hierophant. I don't even know how to say it, but it's not my default way of saying it, so it trips me up. 5 of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Tower. And I feel like with the 5, did I say 5 of Swords? I'm sorry, the 4 of Swords. I mean, again, we're talking about conflict, and the 5 of Swords must have slipped out by accident, but the 4 of Swords here is a need to step back, pause, and relax. This is the step that, like literally, as I was pulling this energy, I heard like shortly after this card, like it literally just says take a break, step back. Like you need to take a step back. So immediately, like taking a step back from any chaos ensuing, like it's just like you, like what is required of you this week is to just be in a state of peace. The Hierophant is commandeering your space, is what I just heard. Commandeering your space, really setting those boundaries for yourself. And also, they're interesting. So, like, they're coming through in this card. It really feels like you have a lot of strength to deal with this situation. I'm really feeling the intuitive channel, so I might hold up a card and say a completely different message. I'm just saying what's flowing right now. We're just going to go with the vibe, y'all. Y'all are a water sign. I get it. We'll roll with it, okay? Pisces, moon, and rising here. I will just flow with whatever. I highly intuitive read, so I won't be going by 100% like the traditional meanings of tarot. I never do. But in terms of the Hierophant, I'm really feeling like some kind of strength is coming up, some kind of fortitude. It does feel like stepping back, and it's almost like you're acting as a fortress. It's like you are, it's not like you're building up barriers or walls or whatever, but it's almost like you are, it's like you have that detachment, or like you are expressing that detachment on your outer world, and you are fortifying yourself, like, but it's like a beautiful process, you know what I mean? Like it really does feel like you are strengthening the walls of your heart, and not by means of like shutting people out. That's not what I mean, because I think like that kind of stuff, like that kind of phrase, like the way that I just said it, it gets a bad rap. It really does. But it's not like being cautious and cornered, like, you know, with your heart or anything, but it really does feel like you're building resilience and your fortitude. It's almost like you're stepping back to repair your walls. And it's interesting that that's giving me that feeling, because you also have here the Tower. And I just like, I really just, the Tower is telling me, so they said you're going to find a solution. And it's going to be great. I just heard you're going to find a solution, and it's going to be great. In this coming week, and it might be like on the verge of some type of solution towards the end of the week, but I really do feel like a solution's going to come about. Maybe, okay, I'm just throwing days out there: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It feels like later half of the week. You may come across a solution, or maybe it's already happened. You know, I don't really like to do time, because Spirit will tell me time, and sometimes it's just way off. Like they'll tell me this. Just, I'm going on a tangent here, but they'll be like, oh, this is going to happen Saturday. And then Saturday comes and goes, and I'm like, where is it? And then like it'll happen the next Saturday, and then I'm like, guys, that would have been, and then they're like, well, you never asked which Saturday. And I mean, that wasn't them being sassy. I mean, someone was being sassy after, but I mean, like, they're not, like, their time is different than our time, so it's hard to communicate time sometimes, so I don't like to rely on it. And divine timing is its own thing, so whatever. Anyway, point being, the channel is saying that, you know, the Tower is like, it's almost, it's so interesting. It's like, there's going to be a solution. It's going to be great. And you're going to come into a space where, I don't know. So like they're saying, like, you're going to be trucking along, that life is just going to be good for you again. You're going to breathe easy because you're going to come into the solution. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. Okay. Sorry. They said you really don't, because I'm trying to think of like, how does that relate to the Tower card? And they're like, you really don't. They just told me, like, you really, and maybe it's for you, you really don't need to complicate that. The solution that's coming along, you really don't need to complicate that. Just like they're saying, you don't need to complicate this card right here, because usually the Tower does present a complicated energy, but Spirit is saying don't complicate things. Don't complicate things. The solution is going to be great, and you won't really have to worry about it. And the Tower is all about like deconstructing and reconstructing things. So the way that things were before is crashing down and coming down. So if anything, the Tower actually fully relates to the situation, and that it's coming down. It's crashing down. The solution will make it crash down, and then it will no longer be an issue. But it's like, but a solution would almost come to you. I'm not sure if it's coming through divine inspiration or it's coming through external means. Just trust whatever comes through. Really trust your intuition and tune in, because you need to just make sure that you're on, like, you know, again, like the Four of Swords does kind of, I'm not going to say it promises, but like when you step into your heart space, you will always be, again, I don't want to say always, I don't want to say these like absolute words, but I'm just going to go with what Spirit says. When you jump into your heart space, you will always be led the right direction. You will always be in touch with your intuition. It's there. You just need to reach it. You just need to comb through the dirt and you need to get to it. And somebody just said you need to solidify your importance with God, so you don't have to be religious to do this. I mean, if you identify with source or universe or you relate to those things, but it's attributed to whatever higher light you believe in. Your connection is very stable. It's very secure. You just need to like solidify that, and stepping into that space of meditation and of rest is going to help solidify that connection. I mean, it's also going to help you build your walls and like feel like protection and helping you stand in your power too. It's going to help you do that as well. Anywho, so faced with your challenges, you have the Eight of Cups here. What's done is done, is what I just heard. What's done is done. If it's like whatever has happened is to be left in the past. And the challenge here seems to be walking away from that. The challenge here is to be leaving that past behind. It's not necessary to reflect on it anymore. It's not necessary to be in that unforgiving energy anymore. The challenge here is truly letting go of it and walking away and not really giving it your focus anymore because it's draining your happiness. I just heard meditations will do you well. Yeah, I just heard meditations will do you well. And I was waiting for something else, and they just said, I just kind of looked up and I was like, is there any more you want to say about it? And they were like, very nice reading. Go on. So I was like, okay. The moon. So you also have the moon here in your challenges. And what am I feeling from the moon here, guys? So that's so interesting that they're telling it to me like this. They said, you need to wait for us to tell you what to do. So the challenge here is stepping back. And I would actually say, like, avoid expressing. Okay, this is so against what I would normally say, but avoid expressing your discontent. Avoid expressing the drama to other people, because it's almost like it's a winding wheel. It's going to keep gaining momentum the more you put your attention on it. And Spirit is saying, don't move unless we tell you to. They're saying, like, again, this Four of Swords, really capitalize on this Four of Swords, guys. This Four of Swords is telling you to step back and rest. Spirit's guiding you with the answers that way. They're going to channel in insights and inspiration into you. This gives me the feeling that, like, it feels like one of those things where, like, you know, I take a good night's rest and then I wake up feeling like a whole different person, because I've probably received downloads that I'm not aware of, or I've been given dreams and I'm like, oh, hey, like, that's cool. But Cancer, this is also your sign too. This is your card, because, like, the moon is ruled by Cancer, or Cancer's ruled by the moon, however that astrology works. But Cancer is on this card. This is your card. So as uncomfortable as this energy might be, I feel like some of you could be actually pretty comfortable in there. This is a very nice space to be in for you. Even though the moon kind of has like an ick like type of meaning and a lot of people are kind of put off by it, I feel like you're pretty at home with this card, because it is coming back to the self, getting in touch with your already intense feelings, and you're getting your subconscious situated. I really feel like you're just getting your stuff situated. The challenge here is kind of stepping back into yourself and doing that. The challenge here is really, honestly, I feel like it's just patience, like patience and waiting and connecting with the divine. I feel like that's kind of where we went with that. I feel like, okay, I'm just hearing that some of you could also have a furry friend or a furry pet, because, like, the first thing that when I pulled the moon, the first thing I thought of, like, the first thing that they came through with was, like, your furry friend. So, I don't know if it's just because there's a dog on the card. I mean, I know it's not from me, because I would not have said it like that, but some of you may have a furry friend, like a pet or something, or some type of, like, I don't know, some type of animal or whatever that you talk with that can make you feel better at this time and that can help you through these challenges. So what's going to make life easier and the way forward? So we have the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords, and again, this is one of those things where, like I said, there are many different ways to do this. You have many different chances or opportunities. If you don't take any opportunities for this week, for the 13th to the 19th, then there will be many opportunities to come, because this energy is generating exits or ways out of this scenario. It's just a matter of when you want to take them. And I wouldn't put it off anymore, Cancer. I would just kind of take that first off ramp that you see. Like, take the first exit that you see. Like, it's you want to be done. You want to cut it and be done. That's just my opinion, but you don't have to. I understand that we can't always just like cut and leave certain things. I mean, you can just step away until the drama relaxes, and then, you know, then maybe think about returning if you have to be in that space, or if these are people that you can't let go of, like if they're family or if they're super close friends, or like whatever the case may be. Everybody's situation is different, and I'm not here to like look exactly into which, like, because it feels like different energies here, and I want to keep it general. But the Knight of Swords tells me that what's going to make your life easier is, I'm hearing that some of you are actually very prideful and you want to speak up. Maybe some of you have been speaking up. Some of you, I just heard someone say, I can't speak up. Maybe it's because it's going to get you in trouble. I feel like this could be a work-related environment where, like, it's really not professional to say what you want to say. And I could understand that. I just heard someone say, they're going to get an earful. So maybe you have words. Maybe you got words, and maybe you want to start throwing them. I feel like maybe getting it off of your chest is going to make it easier. But I'm not sure if now is the time. Again, the first step for you is that Four of Swords. The first step for you is that Four of Swords, because maybe you'll wake up, like, from this nap or this rest or this dream or this vision and actually know finally what you're going to say, how you're going to say it. And then someone just said trees love you. I don't know who that's for or why that's there, but that's the most random thing. I think we're not even on that subject, but I will trust that Spirit is using it as a confirmation for some of you. If you love trees, if you love to hug them, if you love to talk to them, if you love their energy, if you love walking through nature or in the forest, I'm really feeling for some of you it's a foresty vibe, where maybe you have a park nearby that you walk through, or like maybe you live in the woods, or there's some kind of woods nearby that you just like trekking along the trail. Runners, we might be runners or joggers that often go, you know, like along woods or something, but that could be a confirmation for some of you too. What else is going to make your life easier? You have the Two of Wands and you have the Three of Wands, and I love these two together. I did see the Three of Wands kind of reversed. Stay steady with what you want. So again, remember before that I mentioned that you rolled Venus with Aquarius and with the 5th house. I really do feel like with the 5th house, this is kind of related to 5th house energy and focusing on that. This could be also just focusing on, like, you're getting kind of a leg up in this situation, and I really feel like putting your focus to that, turning your attention towards making the things that you do count, is what someone just said. Really put the intention into making the things that you say and do count. Make sure it's coming from a good heart space. Because if you're engaging in drama, that kind of sucks up your energy, right? And if you're engaging in other things that just don't sit with your soul, then it sucks your energy. So focusing on the things that build you up, build up your future, and get you kind of ahead of the game, is going to serve you well. I just heard someone say, make good choices. So make good choices with your energy and where you're putting your energy. It really does feel like you're mapping out your dreams. You're laying the foundation. I feel like for a lot of you, this might not be a dream, but it could be just a general goal. Even if it's like setting a to-do list every day for things that like you have to get done in a job or whatever, or if it's something that like, I have to do this around the house and I have to do that, you're at least like satisfied that you're getting things done. And I feel like that satisfaction is going to, I don't know, I just feel like turning your focus on that and like the satisfaction of getting things done. You need help with your situation? What are you trying to say? You need help. Some of you need help with the things that you do in your situation in terms of like your free time or in terms of any external or side projects. Maybe getting a leg up and asking for assistance from other people would serve you greatly in that respect. Maybe you just have too much to do in your hobbies or your passions, or maybe you just like, and I just heard someone say agree to disagree. I'm not sure if you would agree with me on that. I think you might also be the type of person that doesn't like to ask for help. And Cancer, I'm sorry to say, you will get farther if you ask people for help. The blessings are there if you want them. You don't have to claim this blessing if you don't want to, and I don't want to push you into doing something you don't want to do. But for some of you that kind of fear showing your vulnerability to other people, that actually puts a cap on your potential. So just keep that in mind. I mean, your situation will bear fruit either way. And by that, I mean, not the draw. I mean, like, anything that you're trying to create will bear fruit. I'm just saying that you put a cap on it. Spirit's telling you that, like, you can really just embrace and get ahead, like, way ahead. I'm hearing, like, 3-5 steps ahead for whatever reason, if you were to ask for help on certain points in your journey. So just keep that in mind for the long haul. I'm going to pull your oracle cards now from the top of the table, and we'll see what we got. You have Mirror. Ooh, who or what is triggering you? I always get this card when somebody else is causing stuff in my life. Right now, what's triggering me is Oliver with the... Get down. Oliver. Get down, honey. Come here. Oh, that little rascal. Oh, okay. So what's triggering me right now, I'm going to give you an example. It's the perfect example. I don't like ferret nails scratching against cardboard. They have this box. I gave it to them to play in. They love it. They hide their toys in it. And he just climbs on it. And he can just barely reach it when he jumps. And now he's doing a thing where he's trying to jump on top of my TV stand, and I don't think there's really anything up there for him to get into. It's more of a nuisance than anything. And that's the thing. I can just ignore him if I want. He's in the background. He's scratching cardboard. But really, it's just the frustration of knowing that he shouldn't be up there, which is why I want to go get him, even though there's nothing up there for him. So it's really not serving me right now because I'm in the middle of a reading to go get him. And I feel like that kind of mirrors the situation a little bit, like mirrors the energy that we're talking about here, is that, like, okay, the other people should not be doing what they're doing, and you want to speak up and say something, and maybe you will when the time is right, but it almost seems like, is it even worth your time and attention? And maybe that's one of those, like, at least part of the content of the downloads that you'll receive from Spirit whenever you take that rest to dive into your heart space. I'm hearing, and again, I said this before, but doing meditations, maybe I said this before, I don't know, maybe it just left my mind and I didn't say it out loud, but meditations will serve you well. Meditations, doing guided meditations on YouTube, if you want to do meditations for, like, I don't know, the guided meditations, or even just sitting in stillness, however you do those, but that could be something that can help you and help with this mirroring and reflecting. And again, the mirror just, I don't know, it's just an extension of the Four Swords energy from my understanding. What the heck is this card? I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. Cancer. I'm pulling the book on this. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Oh, and I feel like this is falling into the 5th house. Okay, y'all, can I pull the book on this? I have never pulled this card before, and I am beside myself. I can't believe I've missed a card. I can't believe I've never pulled... I've had this deck for, like, over a year. And I set it all the way off over here because I didn't think I would need it. Come on, Cancer. Dance with life? Are you kidding? I'm going to have to look through this deck at every single one. I can't believe it. I didn't know this existed. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just beside myself right now. Life is always moving. If you resist this ever-changing flow, your energy will become stagnant and you will fall out of flow with the universe. The universe has a mysterious, intelligent force, a natural rhythmic beat which governs all of life. One of the best ways to shift your energy, frequency, and vibration is to put on some music and dance along with it. Aw, and again, 5th house is really just the energy of, like, hobbies, passion, having fun. Okay, are you done? Sorry, this is my ferret. For those of you who don't know, it's Oliver, and he gets into everything. He's the one that was jumping on the box earlier. Anyway, sorry, let me keep reading. When we dance unrestrained, our spirit takes over, and with each new bop, sway, and kick, we are rocked back into harmony with the rest of our life. Get unstuck by doing something that shifts your vibration. Put on some music, dance unrestrained, and fall into the frequency of life. In doing so, your body will begin to learn how to be moved by your intuition, which is connected with this systemic beat. If dancing isn't your thing, then simply do something that you would not usually do to shift the energy. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it, and you cannot attract a different experience without changing your energy first. It's time to shift things up and to find a way to dance along with the beat of life. The work your light action here is do something to change your energy. So I feel like that just said it in itself. So again, it's kind of like what I was saying before, directing your focus. Only this card has presented a different way to do it that I missed. So that's actually really good. I love that card. Like, Holy crap, I love that card, but I see how it can apply to so many things in my life. Again, y'all, like, I can't believe I've never... That card doesn't even look familiar to me, guys. That doesn't even look familiar to me. Like, I've never... I'm gonna shut up about it. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So, and again, really, like, embrace, I want to say, like, embrace this dance, this sway, whatever, like, however you're channeling or shifting this energy. Trust the feeling that's coming up from within. Oh, because if you ignore it, Spirit just said, they literally just said the phrase, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. Sorry, excuse my French. But if I understand it, they're going to tell it to me like that, and I know what it means. So it's going to come back and bite you in the ass, Cancer, if you don't, if you ignore the niggle. So that's why they're saying follow through on this intuition. You know, when you feel like something's off, or when you feel like something's not right, or when you feel like, you know, you feel like you should be doing something, or I don't know. It's just like that little tiny little worm inside of you. It's literally your intuition, and sometimes it pops up in a really uncomfortable way where something happens, and when it's comes time to make a decision, you have a little, like, you know, a little wiggle in your heart saying, "Oh, I know I have to go that way," and you can ignore it, but I mean, you're just staring at it, and you're like, I think I'm gonna have to do that. I don't have any logic for why, but I think I have to do that one. I think I have to make that choice. Trust that feeling inside of you. Basically, that spirit affirming to you whatever your intuition is telling you, it be true. So follow it. Serendipity. So, oh my gosh, signs and synchronicities at this time. Spirit will be sending you solutions and signs in your, like, it will manifest in your reality. You'll be able to see, like, things like, whatever. I feel like for some of you, it's birds. Some of you, it's birds, and it's so lovely because we have a 4-leaf clover here, and it's St. Patrick's Day. So maybe, at least for me, in my country, it's St. Patrick's Day on the 17th. So, maybe St. Patty's Day does have, like, a lot of, like, you know, maybe on the 17th or whatever, or maybe later in the week, or around that time, you will be experiencing a lot of signs and synchronicities. I told you later in the week. So maybe that's, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe that's when you'll be seeing signs from your angels or God or whoever, your, you know, spirit source, whatever you refer to it as, whether they're repeating signs, whether it's a certain kind of bird, repeating numbers. If you're hearing the same phrase over and over again, that would be a sign. And, like, you know, when you're thinking about something, or when you have an idea and your intuition says something and you acknowledge it, and then all of a sudden somebody echoes something related to a completely different situation, but says the same exact thing that mirrors your thought, or that mirrors what you said, that would be a sign too. Those are just examples of what signs could look like, but definitely Google for more information as to what this could look like if you're not sure. Also, no place like home. Treasure your space at home. I'm hearing that, like, this is about literally coming home to yourself. And literally, I mean, just like in the home space. Some of you just need to be at home. When you're at home, be at home. Don't be at work. Don't be in the drama. Don't be, like, over all, like, you know, over the mountains and over the, like, into the sea, unless that's your happy place. I don't know. But being in the moment and being happy in your home space and actually cherishing the love that you have at home. I'm hearing that, some of you are very familiar with your past lives. I don't know if it sounds like, okay, so they said some of you are very familiar with your past lives, and you know you need to break up. This doesn't mean, okay, so, I mean, that might only resonate with a specific some of you. I mean, like, the way that I said it. And I need to be careful about how I say it, because I know it's fragments of what is actually the message that Spirit is trying to say, and I need to put it into a greater conceptualization of what they mean. It really feels like you maybe have had past lives or past karma with a particular person, or with a certain situation. I just heard there's something in your blood. There's something that runs in your blood, maybe through ancestry, that made the same kind of problem. It feels like they make it sound like a generational problem, or like some kind of generational cycle. Like maybe your mom did, or I just heard your dad did it. Maybe your dad did it. Maybe his mom or dad before him did it. And it's just like proceeding issue throughout the generations. But it seems like I don't want to say it like that. There is some stuff, so like because I said no place like home, they're giving me a lot of ancestral things. So I'm trying to sort through what is actually relevant to this reading and what is relevant to the message, because it's not going to resonate with everybody. So that's why I'm trying to sit with spirit, and I'm like, it's in my mind, but I'm trying to like convey what message it is that you guys actually need to hear right now for the 13th to the 19th. It just feels like there's a lot of generational, like maybe you've been working to break generational curses, and maybe your home life just feels tired. It feels like you should be curating it as a space of rest rather than a space. It should be a space of relaxation and rest, not a space of turmoil. So I feel like a lot of you are actually in a very safe space. I mean, if you're not, then I think maybe if you don't feel like you're in a safe space, I feel like that message that, you know, you need to break up or you need to separate yourself from something or someone, I feel like that was the message for you then if you're in an energy where you don't feel safe. But I think for a lot of you, it's because of your generational trauma that you feel stuck and not safe, even though you may be in a safe space already. And I think Spirit is trying to say that, especially with this no place like home card, they really are trying to get you to sit with your space, to sit with your love, to sit with your home, and to sit with yourself. And find it as a place of peace, because peace and love and home is wherever you are at. But I think it really is talking about the physical home space. So really coming back to that and using that as a place of rest and relaxation will help enforce this Four of Swords energy more, because again, that's just the main focal point of your reading, is coming back to the Four of Swords and making sure that you're getting appropriate rest and that you're taking care of your body and that you are designating your home as a safe space for you. Ooh, I also got dare for you. Take a risk and fly. And Spirit is saying with this one, set the bar high for yourself, for others. What? For what you want. Set the bar high for what you want, because you can achieve it. They said you've been given amazing gifts by Spirit. You carry amazing gifts with you that you've given yourself over the past several lifetimes. They said specifically, like the past few lifetimes, you've accumulated this incredible gift or these incredible gifts that you are to share in this lifetime. And it's almost like, you know, for a few lifetimes, like for the last few past lives, you've been preparing for, like, you know, preparing these gifts so that you can share them now. So they said you can set the bar higher. You need space to live your dream, is what I just heard. They just said you need space to live your dream. So people adore you. People adore you. And the message is that because you have such a lovable energy, you need to be careful of who you let into your energy. Really connect with people that you vibe with and let them support you as you soar high. Last but not least, I'm going to roll the angel dice for you, Cancer, and we'll see what we got. 2, 4, 2. Angels see you through the eyes of unconditional love. Know that you are loved beyond measure. I'll say it one more time. Angels see you through the eyes of unconditional love. Know that you are loved beyond measure. This is actually something that the angels tell me all the time. They say, see yourself how we see you. See yourself as how we see you. And I find that oftentimes I felt like it was very ridiculous. But when I envision myself with wings, with angel wings, that is when I connect with angel frequency the most. And they are just so overflowing with love because I'm seeing myself, because it was almost like at the time, like when I was first connecting with angels, I felt like they were on like a higher, you don't have to tune in for this. I mean, you can just like whatever. But they had like, it's almost like they are just sources of unconditional love, or this energy. You don't have to call them angels, but they're sources of unconditional love. So like when I was trying to connect with them at first, I felt like they were like above me, even though all energies in life are created equal. I kind of like, it feels almost like angels are like untouchable and ungodly and like, whoa, like, I don't know. It felt like they were like, something bigger than me. And I was like, but once I started recognizing my own supreme power, like our own, like, when everybody recognizes their own divine spark, and when we notice that we are all, I mean, yeah, they operate on a different frequency, but I mean, like, because we are all kind of a slice of the same divine cloth, and because, like, even though angels aren't, like, they're, like, a different energy from us, and it was almost like they were created for a different reason, but because we are all equal, and that we are all a space of love, like, seeing yourself as the angels see you, and seeing yourself as an angel, like, just helps improve their connection, first of all, with you. And it just made them sing. It made them very happy. And I was like, oh, dang, is this really that powerful? It is that powerful. So literally connecting with love is seeing yourself as the angels see you, just like them. They see you as just like them. So, I mean, that is the message that I have for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for tuning in. If it resonated with you, go ahead and like and subscribe if you don't want to miss content from me, and also to keep up to date with the Patreon that I'm about to launch here soon. So love you, love you, love you. Can't wait to see you again.